Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cybersec Stage here in Cybersec Asia Cluster Thailand International Cyber Week 2025, powered by NCSA Thailand. We are about to bring everyone to explore the knowledge on cybersecurity industry together. But before that, carry around me to encourage all of you to discover more details about our agenda. I would like to suggest you to scan the QR code at the back of your badge through the mobile application for your convenience throughout the 2 days of CyberSec Asia 2025 that was happening. It's not only here at the CyberSec stage, but we also have the workshop. We also have the virtual session from the main stage and the tech stage for all of you. Before we kick off the first sessions of today at the CyberSec Asia, in about 2 minutes, feel free to scan the QR code at the back of your badge to explore our mobile application. Thank you very much. สวัสดีทุกท่านนะคะก่อนที่จะนำทุกท่านเข้าสู่เซสชั่นแรกในวันนี้นะคะขอแนะนำอีกหนึ่งช่องทางค่ะในการติดตามนะคะว่าในแต่ละช่วงเวลาเราจะมีท็อปิกอะไรเริ่มขึ้นกันบ้างนะคะทุกท่านสามารถสแกน QR code ที่อยู่ด้านหลังแบตช์ของทุกท่านได้เป็นโมบายแอปพลิเคชันค่ะให้ทุกท่านได้สามารถติดตามหรือว่าเลือกจองเวลานะคะว่าเซสชั่นไหนจะเริ่มในช่วงเวลากี่โมงนั่นเองเพื่อเป็นประโยชน์ให้สำหรับทุกท่านนะคะได้ explore ข้อมูลที่เป็นประโยชน์สำหรับอุตสาหกรรมนะคะทางด้านความมั่นคงปลอดภัยทางไซเบอร์ค่ะ Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome all of you to CyberSec Asia State. Welcome to CyberSec Asia Cluster Thailand International Cyber Week 2025, powered by NCSA Thailand. I'm very excited to bring everyone to the session of the 2 whole days here at the CyberSec Asia State. We are excited to feature over 66 sessions with more than 80 distinguished speakers. The content is more about the knowledge sharing, 10 updates, and the room for industry leader thoughts and ideas. For the most current agendas, feel free to visit our friendly website to check out at www.cybersec.asia.net or scan the QR code at the back of your name badge to access the mobile application. To kick off the first session today, we would like to bring everyone to learn more about the topics from Checkpoint to share with you about knowing the unknown walkthrough of Thailand trade landscape. By this session, your opportunity to explore the cyber risks and emerging attract trends in Thailand, in in-depth exploration of Thailand involving cyber threat landscape, where you can discover key risks, emerging attack trends, and the sector-specified vulnerabilities that business face today. Learn action defense strategy to strengthen your organization's resilience against the growing wave of cyber threats. By this session, I'm very honored to introduce our speaker for today. Please join with me in welcoming Akanksha Harjai, Territory Account Manager, Cyberint, a Checkpoint company, to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you all have had your coffee. It's a long day of conversations. Thanks for joining. I'm AK, based out of Singapore. I manage Cyberint for ASEAN. Today, I'm just going to talk about Thailand, right? How does it look from the outside? So, long story short, there's a lot of stats, mostly boring, that I'm going to present, but I'm going to try to conclude it in a more entertaining way. So, looking at ransomware today, right? The growing ransomware that we all talk about. Every cybersecurity vendor talks about it. There's no doubt that it's going to grow every year, just like stock market, I hope. Thailand does come in one of the top countries that are targeted by different ransomware groups. And when you look at the stats, right, in terms of verticals or geography, obviously the guys who have more money, right, FSI, retail, manufacturing, they are the ones targeted the most because in the end, threat actors need money. They do it for financial gain. When you talk about info stealers, which is a whole lot different, and I'm going to present an interesting case study soon, we look at each of you today, right? I ask you a simple question. When you go to Amazon, when you register on a third-party website, do you tend to use your corporate email? A lot of us do, because we here are cybersecurity professionals and probably understand this better, but not everybody does. So if you go ask around in your company, in your family, let's say, a lot of people tend to use their corporate emails to register to a third party. Because you know what? Everybody sends massive amount of marketing emails and we don't want our Gmail to be filled up. So we tend to use this, which means if the third parties get compromised, if there's a data leak, we all can be in trouble if we have our corporate email that's actually being registered there. Now this is a small problem. We think about it. We usually don't even think about it because it's small, it's trivial. But what happens is that there are info stealer malwares that capture your username password by a simple infection in your system. We can talk about EDRs, we can talk about antivirus, but in the end, the malware has a way to bypass this. Again, in terms of top targeted countries, Thailand is there, and I'll show you a very good example, right? Uber got breached a few years ago. And if I walk you through the breach, it's extremely simple, right? This is a conversation that you see between Cyberint and the threat actor who managed to breach Uber. Obviously, the threat actor does not know that he's speaking to Cyberint, some avatar, right? Asked him how he did it. Very simple. The first one, and let me get the pointer here. The threat actor was able to buy username password of an Uber employee on the dark web. If somebody has $5 to spare here, you can go to the dark web and pretty much buy anybody's username password that you want. It's that simple and that cheap. He was able to do a MFA spam. So if you all are thinking, hey, it doesn't matter if my password is out, I have multi-factor authentication. But let's agree there's ways to bypass it. You can do a social engineering. You could do a MFA spam. You can do a session hijack. A lot of things can be done. And once this is done, rest is history. You just need, the threat actor needs one system, one account takeover to get into the network, and then that's it. You're done. And then it leads to ransomware and other stuff that we spoke about previously. So this is what happened. On September 15th, the attack happened. On September 11th, this is the exact username password of the employee who was the victim that was available on Cyberint UI because we collect a lot of data from dark web. So if Uber was our customer and was monitoring dark web to see the kind of leaks they have, they would probably have fixed it before they got breached. So this is the timeline, 4 days, and something bad can happen. So until now, we can see a lot of username passwords of Uber employees and a lot of employees globally that are leaked online because of InfoStealer, and this is the kind of damage it can cause. So again, Thailand is one of the most targeted countries as well. I move to phishing, and I have a slide that I want to ask you a question, and I'll pause here. Everybody can see the screenshot if I'm not blocking it. This is definitely a phishing, right? Because the slide says so. Can anybody here point out anything wrong with the screenshot? Anything at all? I don't have a prize to give, sorry, but you know. No. I'll tell you what's wrong. You see two things, right? One, it says keep me signed in. The English is wrong. It's keep me signed in, right? Second thing, right? It just gives you your username filled in by default. And if I'm the employee and if I'm not a cybersecurity professional, it looks like, oh, it's a receipt, right? Something like a receipt. I need to log in to look at it. And I'll probably not notice this. And because my username is auto-filled, I'll just enter my password, in the rush of things, and I will end up giving my username password to somebody. And this is as simple as it can get. Even cybersecurity professionals in this room can't find it. And when you look at your company, you have HR, you have marketing, you have tons of people who are not aware of phishing, not aware of cybersecurity. And that's how threat actors target you. It's a simple one. There's some explanation here. But you got the point. So that's phishing for you. Now, phishing, again, is an external threat. And I'll conclude it because I don't want to bore you with a lot of stats. Today, the biggest problem is that cybersecurity, the breaches are happening from external, from the outside to inside. Threat actors have a lot of information about you personally, by the way, your companies, and are able to do a breach, an account takeover, with a very small investment, $5, $10, maybe even for free. The easiest way today, maybe, if I know somebody out of you, I can take your picture from your Facebook or your LinkedIn, create another account of your name with your picture, right? $0 investment. In the influencer stage, I can buy followers. I can make it look as legit as possible. And that's it. I can act as you on social media if you are the CEO or CEO of some company, and I can try to impersonate you and get PII data of your company, do brand abuse, all sorts of things. So bottom line, external attacks are the biggest threat that organizations face these days, and the common attack vector is stolen credentials. And we should stop taking them lightly, followed by phishing and social media impersonation. So looking at this, right, when you go to the internet, there's a whole lot of data there, right? You can collect data from different social media, from different dark web sources, TikTok, right? A lot of data. And the question is, there is so much noise. How do you find the signal? How do you know this is the intelligence I need to work on? How do you know what is relevant to you? How do you know what's going to attack you? And rest could be just noise. Can you filter out terabytes of data to find that one signal that you need to do something about it internally? So what Cyberint is doing today, and finally the time to pitch, we look at your digital assets. When I say digital, it means whatever is externally facing or externally visible to the threat actor, because that's what he can see. So we are going to look at you the way threat actors look at you. And we will look at all of these assets that you have: executives, mobile application, your brands, your logo, your domains, your subdomains, your cloud storage, everything. And we're going to pass it through the terabytes of data that we have from different sources, open web, deep web, dark web, to find out the signal for you. And the signal can be of various forms, right? Different kind of compromised username, password, any kind of phishing sites active out there, somebody impersonating you on social media, somebody has a deep fake of you, right? All of this to give you the right signal. I would be honest with you, there's a lot of intelligence out there. But there's 4 factors that I do consider is important for you to know what kind of intelligence you need. And the 4 factors are extremely important. Number 1, it needs to be true. If somebody is saying, hey, I have data of maybe Thai government or Thai citizens that I want to sell, how do we trust this guy? He has no name, he has no background, he doesn't have any profile. Maybe he's just lying, he's just trying to get some money. So we need to find out if the intelligence that we bring to you should be true, should be accurate, should be relevant, right? Again, you don't want to know what's happening to other people. You're too bothered about yourself, which is right. So we want to bring you intelligence that is relevant, that is actionable, which means when I say something, if there's an info stealer, if your employee's username password is leaked, I want you to action on it. I want you to fix it. I want you to clean the system, change the password, make sure the user is aware that he was compromised. So intelligence has to be actionable. And lastly, of course, we all have tight pockets, has to be cost effective. This is kind of the summary of what I wanted to share based on the different stats that I showed you. Cyberint has 5 pillars, right? And it goes with the same flow. Number 1, we look at your attack surface. Now, ASM is a very commonly used term today, right? But what does it mean? It means that how big is your surface, external facing surface, that can be attacked. So ASM is number 1. We look at how digital, how exposed you are. We bring you targeted intelligence based on the 4 factors that I showed you before, important, right? We also give you global intelligence, which means today you just want to know, hey, how does Thailand look on the global map? How does FSI industry in Thailand look on global map? How do I look as compared to my peers? You want to know where you stand. So we give you global intelligence, geography specific, vertical specific, so you can understand what kind of campaigns are happening to others that might happen to me, maybe not now. We have digital risk protection, again, an extremely important area to look at social media sites. You talk about Line in Thailand, easier to use, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these, and phishing, for you to know how you are being impersonated, how your VIPs are being impersonated. And then we help you to look at your third party. As I said, today you buy services, softwares, hardwares from people, and you're sharing your data with them, which means if they get compromised, you are compromised too, which means it's a business decision on who to work with. And if the person or the company you're going to work with is not good, is not secure, you might want to reconsider. And this is why we bring you supply chain intelligence, where you can monitor pretty much anybody and everybody, a local Thailand supplier, a global supplier, anybody, to understand how much risk they have externally and how secure they are. To top it up, we just don't want to tell you the problem, but the solution as well. So let's say we bring you intelligence, we give you remediation. We give you suggestions on what should you be doing. So we do perform takedowns for phishing sites, for social media, to make sure that whatever we find, and if you approve, we are able to remove it out there and contain the risk. So we have remediations, we have expert intelligence. I forgot to tell you, Cyberint is from Israel. So we do have a lot of people in the HQ who have major intelligence background, working every day to bring intelligence from different sources to make sure everything gets automated. We don't miss it. Again, dark web is like an ocean. The more you swim, the more you find. So it's a never-ending job for them to make sure that we are bringing in the right kind of intelligence, bringing in relevant intelligence to you. And that's Cyberint for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Could you please open the floor for the Q&A from everyone here? Dear everyone, if you have any questions on your mind that you'd like to explore more detail, feel free to ask your question. We still have time. Yeah, okay. Any questions from you? Well, it seemed like there are no question from the floor.
Maybe I was very clear in my presentation.
That's good.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. So I would like to encourage all of you, for more details, you can meet the experts at the Checkpoint booth. Once again, we still have time before the next session on a panel discussion, about 10 minutes. The panel discussion on the topics of internet governance in cybersecurity. But before that times, and I would like to ask for your kind cooperation to everyone. So please feel free to scan the QR code, which is clear on the screen by now. This is the conference survey. You may have any suggestions that like to let us know. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us to improve our future event on the next edition of CyberSec Asia as well. But before to moving on to the next session, Carrie around me to wrap up in detail from the previous section from the checkpoint อย่างที่ทุกท่านได้ทราบกันนะคะว่าเมื่อสักครู่นี้คุณอาคัญชาได้ให้ทุกท่านได้เห็นนะคะว่าสิ่งที่เป็นภาพรวมค่ะของ landscape ทางด้านความมั่นคงปลอดภัยไซเบอร์ที่เราจะต้องตระหนักร่วมกันนะคะมีมุมมองอะไรบ้างโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งทำไมประเทศไทยถึงตกเป็นเป้าโจมตีของเรา attacker นะคะที่สำคัญเลยคือเรื่องของความท้าทายที่เกิดขึ้นของทุกคนที่อยู่ในงานทางด้าน Cyber Security นะคะที่เราจะต้องมาหาแนวคิดร่วมกันว่าแนวโน้มในการถูกโจมตีที่เกิดขึ้นมีอะไรเกิดขึ้นใหม่บ้างรวมถึงช่องโหว่นะคะที่เน้นในการโจมตีทางด้านอุตสาหกรรมหลักนั่นเองนะคะกลยุทธ์ที่มีการดำเนินการสำหรับธุรกิจต่างๆเพื่อให้ทุกท่านได้เตรียมความพร้อมนำไปปรับปรุงนะคะทางด้านความมั่นคงปลอดภัยไซเบอร์ที่สำคัญนะคะคือเรื่องของความสำคัญของข้อมูลทางด้านภัยคุกคามนะคะว่าเราจะต้องมีการเตรียมพร้อมการป้องกันในเชิงรุกตลอดจนการเตรียมความพร้อมขั้นตอนแนวการจัดกรอบการกำกับดูแลด้านความปลอดภัยทางไซเบอร์อย่างไรนั่นเองนี่เป็นเซสชั่นแรกค่ะสำหรับเวที CyberSec Asia แห่งนี้นะคะเดี๋ยวอีกสักครู่เราพร้อมที่จะนำทุกท่านไปพบกับเซสชั่นต่อไปที่จะเป็นประโยชน์ให้ทุกท่านได้ขบคิดไปพร้อมกันซึ่งวันนี้นะคะผู้ดำเนินรายการนะคะทุกท่านจะได้เจาะลึกในเรื่องของข้อมูลที่เป็นประโยชน์มากขึ้นเพราะว่าผู้ดำเนินรายการนะคะเราได้รับเกียรติจาก Founder and CEO of the IO Foundation ค่ะให้เกียรติมาดำเนินรายการในช่วงทอล์กที่จะเริ่มขึ้นในอีกสักครู่